So we were discussing coding and testing question and answers of Dr. Rajiv Mal's book on software engineering. Question 21 is usability of software product is tested during which type of testing? Unit, integration, or system testing? And how is usability tested? Usability. Usability of a product is tested during the system testing level of testing. So during usability testing, the display screen and messages, report formats, and other aspects relating to the user interface requirements are tested. 22. Now, suppose a developed software has successfully passed all the three levels of testing, that is, unit testing, integration testing, and system testing. Can we claim that the software is defect free? And justify your answer. The answer is no, actually. We cannot, anytime we cannot claim that the software is defect free. Because these three levels of testing do not do an exhaustive testing of a program using all possible data values. Exhaustive testing is actually impossible. But for those software which are very critical and they involve life, then exhaustive testing may be taken up. 23rd. Distinguish between static and dynamic analysis of a program. How are static and dynamic program analysis results useful? Let me tell you that static and dynamic varies in this that in this static analysis, the program or the software is actually not run or executed, while in dynamic analysis, the program is actually executed. So static analysis tools assesses and compute various characteristics of a software product without executing it. We don't execute it here. While dynamic program analysis technique, it requires the program to execute or run, and its actual behavior are recorded. Static analysis tools, they indicate whether adequate commenting has been done, whether the coding standards have been adhered to, followed or not. While these dynamic analysis tools, they are normally used to check whether the testing is satisfactory. What do you understand by automatic program analysis? Give a broad classification of different type of program analysis tools used during program development, and what are the different types of information produced by each type of tool. So automated program analysis takes the source code or the executable code of a program as the input, and it produces reports regarding several important parameters and characteristics of the program, such as its size, complexity, adequacy of the commenting, adherence to programming standards, etc. Some program analysis tools, they also produce reports regarding the adequacy of test cases. So we can classify all these tools into two broad categories of program analysis. One is static analysis tools and then is dynamic analysis tools. Design a black box test suite for a function that checks whether a character string is a palindrome or not, up to 25 character length. Palindrome means a string. If it is reversed, then it matches the previous or the actual string. So the reverse and the actual, they are same. The equivalence classes in black box testing, what we do, we do two things. First is the equivalence partitioning, and then the boundary value analysis on these equivalent classes. So the equivalent classes that can be made is palindrome, whether it is a palindrome or not a palindrome, or a null string, and the string which contain more than 25 characters. So these equivalence class tests can be designed by choosing one representative test case for each of these equivalence classes. Then the boundary value can be checked by selecting a word with 25 characters and other by 26 characters on the boundary. 26. Design the black box test suite for a function that takes the name of a book as input and searches a file containing the name of the files available in the library and displays the details of the book. If the book is available in the library, otherwise displays the message book not available. For this, the equivalence classes would be book available, book not available, or invalid book name. And the equivalence classes or class test, this can be designed by choosing one representative test case for each of these equivalence classes. 27. Why is it important to properly document a software product, and what are the different ways of documenting a software product? See, the proper documentation, it will facilitate the maintenance, which takes around 40 to 60% effort of their development after development. So there are two important types of documentation, that is internal documentation and external documentation. Why is it advantageous to detect errors during code and design reviews rather than detecting these error at the time of testing? Why it becomes advantageous? It will cost less. Since testing detects failures, an additional debugging effort is needed to identify the error which is causing the failure. If you don't perform this detection of error during code and design, then it may be possible that you have to recode it altogether or to redesign it. And redesigning will take a lot of effort. These are the advantages. 29. What do you understand by the clean room strategy? What are its advantages? Clean room strategy. The clean room strategy, it relies heavily on the code walkthrough, code inspection, and formal verification. So the programmers, they are not allowed to test any of their code by executing the code other than doing some syntax testing using a compiler. This clean room will involve walkthrough, inspection, and formal verification. So this technique reportedly produces the documentation and the code that is more reliable and maintainable than other development methods, relying heavily on the code execution based testing. So this clean room strategy is not on code execution basis, but on walkthrough, inspection, and formal verification. How can you compute the cyclomatic complexity of a program? How is cyclomatic complexity useful in program testing? Now, this is a very important question always asked. If you are provided a control flow graph G, the cyclomatic complexity we can easily compute with a control flow graph with E minus n plus 2, or the number of predicates plus 1. The n is the nodes of the control flow graph and E are the edges in the control flow graph. This cyclomatic complexity, it identifies an upper bound on the minimum number of independent paths. This also tells about the number of test cases needs to be generated. This helps to determine whether path testing is adequately done or not. Suppose in order to estimate the number of latent errors in a program, you seed it. This is seeding of errors with 100 errors of different kind. After testing the software using its full test set, you discover only 80 of the introduced errors. So you discover 15 other errors also, apart from what you have seeded. Estimate the number of latent errors in the software and what are the limitation of the error seeding method. So this is the formula here. Number of the latent error would be 100, is which you seed. Number of error which you seed. The errors which are other errors that are found divided by the numbers of error which you seeded and you found, that is your 80, minus the other error. So 80 minus 15, that will be 19 minus 15, 4. So the limitation of the error seeding method is that it implicitly assumes that the seeded errors closely matches with the type and frequency of the existing errors, which is not always the case. So this is the limitation of error seeding. What is stress testing and why is stress testing applicable to only certain types of system? See, stress testing, it evaluates the performance when it is stressed for a short period of time. Means the load or the performance is checked after putting up all the pressure on the system. So stress testing is applicable only to those products which have an element of time or size in the specification of the system. 33 is, what do you understand by unit testing? Write the code for module that contains the function to implement the functionality to implement a bound stack of 100 integers. Assume that the stack functions supported are push and pop and is empty. This we have already covered in our theory session, but I'll tell you what unit testing is. Unit testing is actually the module testing. So once you complete the module, you perform a test on it so that the module which you have just made is being checked, and you can use the stubs and drivers here. 34 is, what do you understand by the term integration testing? Which types of defects are uncovered during integration testing? What are the different types of integration testing methods that can be used to carry out integration testing of a large software product? Compare the demerits and demerits of these different integration testing strategies. So the basic crux of this because we have already covered in detail. Integration is testing between various module interfaces. So the interfacing, once you have checked these modules, means you have performed the testing on this module, that is called the unit testing. Now you want to see how these modules interface together. So interface defects among modules, these are detected during the integration testing. Discuss how would you perform system testing for a software that implements a queue of positive integral elements. Assume that the queue supports only the function insert an element, delete an element, and find an element. So I leave this also as an exercise for you, that how you can system test the um, queue version. 36 is why is it advantageous to detect as many errors as possible during code review than during testing. First of all, it would cost less because testing detects failures and additional debugging effort is required to identify the error causing the failure. So if it is done in code review and code inspection only, then the cost will be very less while you are testing and then going back to debug it. 37. What do you mean by side effects of a function call? Give examples of side effects. Why are obscure side effects undesirable? The side effects of function call will include the modification of parameters which are passed by reference, because passing by reference will actually change the value of the original value, and also modification of global values and input output operations. So these are the side effects of function calls. An obscure side effect is the one that is not obvious from a casual examination of the code. You cannot identify by just casual examination. That may be some obscure side effect. And obscure side effect will make it very difficult to understand a piece of code. What is regression testing? When is regression testing done? And why is regression testing necessary? And how is regression testing performed? What happens that regression testing is the practice of running an old test suite after each change to the system or after each bug fix to ensure that no new bug has been introduced due to the change or the bug fix. So while testing, you find some bug. Now you fix that bug, but you need to check and you have to be very sure that introducing this new bug fixing has not introduced any other error. This is regression testing. However, if only a few statements are changed, then to retest entire test suite, it is not required. So this need not to be done. Only those test cases that test the functions that are likely to be affected by the change, that may be run. 39 is, do you agree with the statement system testing can be considered as a pure black box testing? Justify answer. Yes, system testing is actually the black box testing. But system tests, they are designed based on the functional and non-functional requirement only, which are specified in your SRS document. Question number 40. What do you understand by Big Bang integration testing, and how is Big Bang integration testing performed? Describe situations where Big Bang integration testing is desirable. In Big Bang integration testing, what we do, all the modules are integrated in a single step. But normal integration testing, what we do, we combine one module with another. Then we take the integration testing. Then we add one more. Then we add one more. Or say we have some similar or likewise modules. So we combine two or three with these two. These are the stepwise integration with an integration plan. But Big Bang means combining all the modules which are existing. So Big Bang testing is desirable when we have a system which is very small, having only 3 to 4 modules. 41. What is the relationship between cyclomatic complexity and program comprehensibility? And can you justify why such apparent relationship exists? Cyclomatic complexity and program comprehensibility. This program comprehensibility decreases as the cyclomatic complexity increases. Program comprehensibility means understanding the program, whether you are able to understand and manage it properly. But cyclomatic complexity, if you leave this word or ignore this word, it actually gives you the idea of complexity only. So if the program is complex or the software is complex, the product is complex, the comprehension will not be there. So the reason for this is the fact that cyclomatic complexity is an upper bound on the number of independent paths in the program. The programmers generally understand the working of a program by tracing the path from the outputs to the inputs. So when the cyclomatic complexity becomes high, the number of paths which are to be traced, they increase. And as a result, it becomes much more difficult to understand the program, obviously. When during the life cycle are the compliance to the coding standard and guidelines are checked. So compliance to this coding standard and guidelines, they are checked before the unit testing. After the code successfully compiles, not run, if the code is syntactically checked, because compilation will remove all the errors of syntax. And once it is compiled, then you can go for the coding standards and guideline checking. Identify the type of defects that you would be able to detect during the following: code inspection and code walkthrough. Code inspection, code walkthrough. So in code inspection, compliance with the coding standards and presence of standard types of errors are checked. While in code walkthrough, during code walkthrough, the presence of logical error is checked, that is logarithmic or any logical errors, they are found. Okay. 47. Design the black box test suite for a function named quadratic solver. Quadratic solver accepts three floating points a, b, c, representing a quadratic equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. It computes and displays the solution. So the equivalence class for this quadratic solver would be real solution, imaginary solution, or no solution if a and b equal to 0. And also we can have coincident solutions. So the equivalence class test can be designed by choosing one representative test case for each equivalence class. 48. Design the black box test suite for a function that accepts two pairs of floating point numbers representing two coordinate points. Each pair of coordinate points represent the center and the point on the circumference of the circle. The function prints whether the two circles are intersecting or is contained within the other, or they are disjoint. It's quite simple. The equivalence classes for the given functions can be circle intersecting 2 points, circle intersecting at 1 point, disjoint circles, circle intersect at infinite number of points or coincident points, or invalid circle parameters. And you can choose the equivalent class test by choosing one representative test case for these equivalent classes. The 49 is design black box test case for a function called find intersection. This find intersection, it takes four numbers m1, c1, m2, c2 and its arguments representing two straight lines, y is equal to m1 x plus c1, y is equal to m2 x plus c2. So it determines the point of intersection of the two lines. Depending on the input values to the function, it displays any one of the following: single point of intersection or overlapping line, that is infinite number of instructions. Parallel line also, no point of intersection, invalid input values. So since these four conditions are given already, so the equivalence class can be made easily for a given function, like single point of intersection, overlapping lines, parallel lines, invalid input values. Then we can easily have equivalence class test that can be designed by choosing one representative case for each equivalence class. Design black box test suite for the following. The program accepts two pair of coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, x4, y4. The first 2 points, these two, it represent the lower left and the upper right corner of the first rectangle. The second represent the lower left and the upper right points of the second rectangle. So it is assumed that the length and the width of the rectangle are parallel to each other, to the x and y axis. The program computes the point of intersection of two rectangles and prints their point of intersection. So the equivalence classes would be like this: disjoint rectangles, intersecting rectangles, rectangles with one side overlapping, rectangles touching at one point, coincident rectangles, rectangle with two side overlapping. So the equivalence classes test that can be easily designed by choosing one representative case of each of these equivalence classes. Design black box test suite for a program that accepts up to 10 simultaneous linear equations in up to 10 independent variables and displays the solution. So we can have unique solution, infinite solution, no solution, too many variables, or invalid equation, for example, phi equal to 0. And we can just choose test cases from every equivalence classes here. 52. Design a black box test suite for following library automation software. The library automation software accepts a string representing the name of the book. It checks the library catalog and displays whether the book is listed in the catalog or not. So if the book is listed in the catalog, it displays the number of copies that are currently available in the racks and the copies issued out. And the equivalence classes would be book available, book not available, and book issued out. 53. Design the black box suite for a program that accepts two strings and checks if a first string is a substring of second string, and it displays the number of times the first string occurs in the second string. The equivalence classes could be no match, identical string, or proper substring. 54. Design black box suite for a program that accepts a pair of points defining a straight line and another point and a floating number defining the center of a circle and its radius. It computes their points of intersection and prints them. So it would be intersection at 1 point, intersecting at 2 points, no point of intersection, and invalid input. Then we'll take this question 57, because 55, 56, and 57 are the questions which we have already seen of this type. So identify the type of information that should be presented in the test summary report. The test summary report will normally cover each subsystem and represent a summary of tests which have been applied to the system. So it will specify how many tests have been applied to a system, how many tests have been successful, how many have been unsuccessful, and the degree to which they have been unsuccessful. For example, whether a test was an outright failure or whether some of the expected results of the test were actually observed. Right? I hope you will work on 55, 56, and 58 by yourself. So thank you so much. This was coding and testing of the Dr. Rajiv Mal's book on software engineering.